I'm a bit sick right now, so that's why my voice sounds like this. Don't lie, we've all been there. Or sometimes when we're on our phones constantly just taking in other people's lives, we are feeling this way. Everybody gets jealous of other people's lives. It's inevitable. It's about to happen, especially nowadays with social media around. With just this phone, we can see the way other people's lives are living, and it's really easy to compare our lives with theirs. Or if you're a girl, it's really easy for you to want to be like somebody or want to look like somebody else. You see other people having that success and you're not where you want to be yet, but you're watching other people be successful and do what they want to do, then you're definitely going to be insecure and you're definitely going to be jealous of other people's lives. Do not lie. The reason why I'm here today to talk to you is you need to stop comparing yourself to other people's lives. Other people's lives may look better than yours. We all have our own experiences. One thing that I hear a lot is, well, I follow a lot of people that are successful, and with that being is not so I can compare my lives to them and be a hater. I know who I'm following. I know that they have success. I know that they're really pretty and they're living certain lives that I want to live. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes jealousy will get to me because that's how everybody is. You gotta catch yourself when you're starting to fall into that little jealousy mentality and switch it back to getting inspired. So the main reason why I mainly just follow people that are successful and that are beautiful is so that I can get inspired. Just because somebody is successful and doing what they want to do doesn't mean that you're not next. It doesn't mean that that's not gonna happen to you as well. That's something that people keep forgetting. We keep thinking that because somebody's pretty, it doesn't mean that you're pretty as well. I don't know why people get mad at other people for achieving their goals. Like, that has nothing to do with you personally. Just because they're achieving their goals, it doesn't mean that you're not gonna achieve yours. Like, they're not affecting you at all. So why are you even thinking about that? Why are you even getting jealous in the first place? I definitely think it's a fucked up thing to say as well. If you say, oh, must be nice, oh, lucky for them that they're doing that, they have their dream car, that they have their dream apartment, whatever. Like, most of these people work hard for it. A lot of these people, I generally find it like you're downplaying it when someone busts their ass off to get to where they want to be just for somebody to call them lucky. Like, if they got that handed to them, when a lot of people actually worked for it. Obviously there's certain people that they did get it handed to them, but most people worked for it. You just gotta have that mentality. Good for them, because that has nothing to do with you. Your path is your path. They have their own path, they've had their own experiences, and a lot of times on social media, especially when people have succeeded what they want to do and they look successful, they're not going to show you what they had to take in order to get to that success. They're not going to break it down all of their experiences. Like, they could, some people do go into depth of how they were able to get their success, but if you're just first seeing somebody on Instagram and you're seeing their success, you're not going to know that. And that's because Instagram is meant to highlight the good parts of your life. A lot of times social media, back then especially, it was meant to just highlight your life. Nowadays I feel like it's great that people are now showing the ugly side of people's lives as well. Like, on social media, like, we're being way more real. You gotta remember that at the end of the day, social media is meant to just be a highlight of your life. You're only seeing of a person what they are choosing to show you. There could be so much going on in their life, and I'm pretty sure there is, because come on now, everybody is here on earth experiencing life, and life comes with good and ugly. They're not going to be showing, like, putting their business out there of what's going on in their life. You really don't know what's going on, and even if they're having it good, who cares? That is not going to stop you from succeeding as well. Like, if somebody is succeeding on their own, that's not going to hold you back. It's like, while you're over here worried about somebody else's life, you could be putting that same energy into building your own life, building your career, or focusing on blowing up, whatever it is you want to do. When you're just giving out ugly, nasty energy to other people, that is what you're gonna get back, because that means that you're not even working for yourself. Like, one thing too is I never see, I'm pretty sure there are these people, but that means that they have like some insecurity issues. But most times people that have succeeded, especially in the area that you want to succeed at, are not gonna bring you down when they see that you are trying to succeed at that same thing. That's one thing about it, and something that I've noticed too, like, especially on my social media. People that like my stuff are people that I see aren't really doing nothing for themselves, and the people that I see that do like my stories or show support, I have actually gotten messages showing support for my YouTube, and they see me like I'm actually trying to put myself out there, they're also putting themselves out there. They either have businesses or they're doing YouTube as well. It's mainly those people that I see that are doing something for themselves that are supporting me, and it's mainly strangers. I want you to remember that, and remember that you want to be like those people that have succeeded and don't hate on other people. Because what is there to hate? You're the author of your own book. You're deciding the way that you want your life to go, and honestly, circumstances are gonna come in your way. There's always gonna be problems that are getting thrown at you, but life cannot be like this. Life is like this, you know, and you can still reach your goal. You may go through some things, but you're still gonna reach your goal. How are you gonna compare yourself when somebody has gone through all of this and they're right here while you're still going through your this? Like, you're right here, but you can't see yet what is on the other side. You can't see your future yet, what plan God has for you. All you gotta do is have faith and just work on what you can, like what knowledge you already have. Just work on that. Think about something that you want to do and then just go at it hard, as hard as you can, and the rest from there, God is gonna take care of it. That's really all you can do. You cannot be stressing about what you can't see. Let's say you become whatever you want to be, like the successful person you want to be, but yet you spent all this time stressing. Like, you really were wasting time when you could be living in the moment, appreciating what you have right now, being grateful for what you have right now, and just enjoying the journey. And let's say you don't become successful, which honestly, I'm very much like, I like to think positively, so I don't even like to talk about what could go wrong, you know what I mean? But let's say if you weren't to become successful, okay, you just wasted time stressing on your future when you could be thinking positively and manifesting that life that you want for yourself. You know what I mean? Either way, it's not gonna do nothing about it. That's also why sometimes I don't really cry anymore. Like, back then when I was younger, I'm pretty sure a lot of us were like this, but you know, I used to cry a lot. I was kind of a crybaby. I don't know if it was my dad, but somebody told me, what is crying gonna do? Like, the problem that's happening is still happening. I understand, like, it's good to cry for your soul. I think I've heard too, like, it's good to let it out once in a while, but if you're just constantly crying just being a victim of what life is happening, then that is who you're gonna become in this life. Like I said, you're the author of your book, you're the main character in your book, and if the main character is always crying about something, then obviously they're the victim of whatever's happening in life. You need to take control. Like, do you want to get dragged by life, or do you want to start taking control? People that are just always like on the side crying when somebody is being successful and becoming the best version of themselves, giving side character energy. You know, like in every movie, every time the main character, I don't know, I'm probably thinking about like the high school movies, okay? But basically, like, the main character be always getting bullied, but then in the end of the movie, they're always end up like succeeding on something. They always have the biggest glow up. It's like, do you want to be the people on the side that are hating on people are successful, or do you want to be the main character? You have to choose. Because for me personally, I want to be the main character, okay? But even if I'm the main character, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna be tearing other people down. If I'm the main character of my life, that doesn't mean that this girl cannot be the main character of her life. If I see somebody acting like a baddie and she believes it, okay, that's fine. That has nothing to do with me. That's her life. It's not mine. You know, you have to like start thinking about it like that. But yeah, there's a difference between being self-absorbed and like very much conceited, and then being confident. And whenever I talk about baddies like that and stuff, I'm talking about girls that have confidence within themselves. Like, they will not move. Like, if somebody tells them something, like, that's not gonna make them question themselves. You know, if you really know yourself, you are not gonna be hurt by what other people say about you if it's not true. Especially, I feel like I've heard of this somewhere. Like, I don't know if somebody told me this or like from a podcast or something, but if somebody was to come up to me, like, I have long hair, right? If somebody was to come up to me and tell me, you have short hair, I'm gonna be like, no, like, I got long hair. What are you talking about? Well, I guess it's not that long, so I don't know if this is a good example, but let's just imagine that I have like really long hair, because to me this is kind of long. It might be medium to you, whatever, but this is just an example, okay? But if somebody's to come to me and tell me like, oh, you have short hair, I'm like, no, I have long hair. And they're like, no, it's short, haha, laughing. I'm gonna be like, what are you talking about? And it's not even gonna hurt my feelings, because like, I know for a fact that this is long. I'm secure with myself. I'm confident with myself that this is long. Like, what are you talking about? So you cannot change the way that I feel about my hair, because I know my hair. So that's how you have to be with yourself. All of your insecurities, just think about it like that, you know? Like, you have to know who you are. are. If somebody tells you one thing, that does not necessarily mean that it's true. It may be true in their eyes. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody forms an opinion on you based on what they have experienced with you as a person, but they have not been through every single experience in your life. And that is truly what makes a person, I think, is definitely the experiences in your life. When people form an opinion of you, is because they've only seen a small part of your life, especially if they just met you. Back then, you know, like when you're a teenager, you're not sure within yourself. You're still learning yourself. Just make sure that you're sure within yourself of who you are. You're not gonna let other people make you feel insecure. If you know who you are, that's not gonna happen. And I feel like confidence has a lot to do with that, like how much you know of yourself. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you're just seeing, like, how do I explain it? Like, you're not seeing yourself in 3D. Other people are seeing you in 3D. That's why sometimes when you look in the mirror, it's just like this flat surface. You may think that you're not pretty looking, but when other people see you, you may be like the hottest thing on this planet. And that's because the way that they view you is totally different from the way that you view yourself, obviously. And not only that, but you can't be judging yourself the way that you look through a mirror. You gotta realize that when you walk into a room, they're not seeing what you see in a mirror. They're seeing you like as a whole person. Like, they're seeing the back of your head, the side of your head, the way you move, the way you laugh, everything. And certain things that you do may be cute to some people. There's always gonna be somebody that's prettier than you, that's more successful than you, that has the life that you want. There's always gonna be somebody that has a better car than you, a better house, whatever. There's always gonna be that, because this world has a lot of humans in here, a lot. And if you're always constantly comparing yourself with these people, when knowing that there's a lot of people in this world, so it's bound to happen that there's going to be people that have better things than you, you're always going to be depressed if you're always comparing yourself. It's a never ending cycle. If you're looking for somebody to have competition with, and then let's say you have somebody competition with, like you're jealous of this person because they got a better car than you get that car, and then what? Somebody has a better house than you, and now you're in competition. Like, you're always just doing like the next big thing, trying to be in competition with other people. You're never gonna win. That means that you're taking your own life for granted, what you have within yourself for granted. And you're definitely taking your own life for granted if you're just trying to be like other people. And with that being said, there's always gonna be somebody also that has a worser car than you. Sometimes you just gotta remember, if you're always comparing, you're never gonna be happy. And you gotta really think about it like, damn, we're really in a world, like we're really living on a rock in outer space. Do not let time run you by and you're not appreciating all these things that you have in your life right now. But I sound so cliche for saying that. Like, I sound so corny. But it's for real. Like, we're never going to be this young again, y'all. If you think about it, we're never going to be in our early 20s again. And if you're in your early 20s, you got to have that mentality that you're a bad bitch now. Because if not now, then when? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to wait till so long to finally think about it. A lot of people have regrets that they didn't start loving themselves sooner. I just feel like when you're young, you're constantly looking over your shoulder at what the other person is doing. If you are going to do that, use that as inspiration, but do not use that to kill your own joy of appreciating your own life. You literally have so much negativity in this world. Why do you want to add to it? Do not add to it. If you see somebody that you find pretty and they smile at you, don't give them a mean mug, because what did they do to you? Okay, this was kind of personal because oh my gosh, okay, this was kind of personal because if you know, you know. Like, if you're a nice girl and you be smiling at girls that you find like just like pretty and they mean mug you, yeah, that's not okay. But a lot of times girls do that because for some reason, I don't know, like, what do you gain from doing that? But a lot of girls, it's an insecurity feeling, jealousy, and you do not want to be one of those girls, because personally I think that makes you uglier. You could be the prettiest girl ever, but doing that, like, you are so ugly. I just feel like when you do stuff like that, like when you become jealous with other people, you're sleeping on yourself. And a lot of people be thinking like, damn, like a lot of people are sleeping on me, you know. But it's like, how do you carry yourself? It's like, have you ever been around certain girls that are always talking shit about other girls? Like, the person they're talking about too hasn't done nothing wrong, and yet they're like, I got a bad feeling about this person. Like, I know we just met this person, but I don't have a bad feeling about it, like about her. There's something off about her. And it's like 9 times out of 10, the girl that they just met is like prettier looking than them. And it's like, girl, just shut up. Like, you could really tell that you're jealous of them. Or even if they're not pretty, it's like they have something that you know damn well that they want. It's like your jealousy is showing. You don't want to be one of those people, especially if you're trying to be successful. Like, nobody's gonna want to be around you if you're constantly bringing other people down. And even if you think about that in your head, that's what you're putting out in the universe. And remember that. So you are manifesting that for yourself, to be the side character in that person's life, to be a side character in somebody's life, when you can be main character of your own life. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, how many times do I have to repeat myself for you to get it? Like, you gotta remember that being a baddie is in you. If you do have somebody that you're like jealous of, think about what do they do that you're jealous of them, and you gotta like ask yourself, and how come I can't be that either? And not in a jealousy way, but in a way that's like, you know what, there's room for me too. Okay, she's successful at this, I'm gonna work hard so I can be successful at that too, because I know that I can do it too. You gotta be inspired. Learn how to be inspired. I feel like a lot of people don't know how to be inspired and think that if you're inspired by somebody, you're copying someone, or that person is automatically better than you. It's okay. I will always admit when I'm inspired by someone too. It's like, I don't have an issue with saying I'm inspired by someone. You have so many influencers and celebrities that you are following, but do you think like one is better than the other? Like, you may have a favorite. There's a lot of times where a lot of people like certain influencers and celebrities, but it's not because they're all the same way. They like watching them because they have their own unique personalities. They have something unique to offer. Even if there is like the same videos like of the influencers, like YouTubers that you are watching, if it's same vlogs and stuff, they're doing like the same things, or even like sit down videos, inspirational videos, any type of videos, and you're watching a different people, it's because of what that person has to offer. It's always going to be different than what the other person has to offer, even if you guys are talking about the same thing, because we're all shaped differently because of the experiences that we've gone through. We all have different knowledge of certain things. One person can say something on a certain topic that's like really gonna enlighten you, and another person could say something about another topic that's gonna enlighten you, and when they talk about that topic, it's not gonna be as enlightening. Like, do you get what I'm saying? People can be really good influencers without all being the same and just being themselves, because everybody wants just that unique experience every time you go to watch somebody's videos, because the whole world would be so boring if we were all just exactly the same. Like, how boring would that be? And that is why you have flaws. That's why everybody has flaws. Even the people you think are considered perfect, they have flaws as well that you may not see, because like I said, people only show what they want to show on social media. The flaws are definitely what make you unique. You know, that's why when you fall in love with somebody, you think they don't have any flaws. That's because you like their flaws, because you like their uniqueness. You like that person as a whole. You just gotta continue being you, continue working for what you want to work towards, continue trying to better yourself every day, not to be like the next person, not to be like those people on social media, which you can use that as inspiration. But even if you do that, you're doing that to become a better you. We're never gonna be like that certain celebrity that you're probably obsessed with, and that's okay. Why? Because you didn't go through her experiences. You don't have the same genes as they do. You don't have the same parents as they do. You have your own experiences that you are carrying, your own history of how you grew up, the different influences you had around you. Now that you're older, you got to take accountability, and now you are the author of your life. Like, you really did not have a choice. Your childhood growing up, you did not have a choice of how your life was, but now that you're older, you do, and you have a choice to want to change and do better for yourself, or you could sit around, play the victim, and use that and play a victim about your life, complaining that you never got the opportunities that other people did and that they're successful. And I'm saying, like, obviously you gotta be like, how do I say it, like, I feel like you're blessed, you know, like if you have a roof over your head or whatever, you have clean water, like you're blessed enough to do that, you know. It's just like no excuses. If you can have no excuses, that's better. Try to limit your excuses, because you can get the life you want, you can glow up, you can do all of that without having to play the victim. If anything, once you stop playing the victim is when you are gonna see your whole life change. Like, I know when I was in high school, I stopped playing the victim and I started taking control. I started thinking, okay, what can I do to make myself look prettier? What can I do to make myself more confident? I looked into affirmations. And to look prettier, I looked into doing my makeup, and I looked into doing my hair. I looked into leveling up, like what type of clothes I wear. I'm still not the best at dressing, but you know, like, I did something. Like, just do something. Like, don't just sit around, cry about it. Don't just sit around and compare yourself to other people. That's stealing away from your own unique unique experiences. Nobody's ever gonna be 100% the way that you are. I don't know how much I've been talking for, but I hope you got the gist of it, like of what I'm trying to say. Just fall in love with yourself, fall in love with life, and fall in love with the fact that you're not somebody else and somebody else is not you. Somebody else can never ever be you, and that's a power that you can use. But in case you're new here, my name is Maribel, and if you like more videos like this, go ahead and like it so that way I know what type of videos I can make, and subscribe if you want to see more of me.